Good morning on day 28 on the Pacific Crest Trail. And this morning we're at Mission Creek, and it's a part of the trail that is totally washed out and unmarked. So you really have to keep an eye on things. There's a lot of notes and far out on how to navigate it. It's about a 10-mile section. And this is what we're looking at this morning. Definitely slow going, but as you can see, we are walking along the creek. So we don't have to carry that much water, and we have one day less food to carry. So the packs are a little lighter, which is good. So we just passed a couple of Sobos, or southbound hikers. We're considered Nobos, northbound. And what they told us was there's a path that parallels that washed out section we were just in. And you can follow that for a while. And then there'll be some rock scrambles. And we'll keep an eye on the app, make sure we're close to the actual Pacific Crest Trail, since you can't actually see it. So it should be interesting. We'll see you down trail. There's trail up here for a little bit. Get past this big tree, and then there's this giant rock there. And it stops. So then you have to come back down to the riverbed. More river crossings, more rocks. We are taking a creekside break here. And how far did we go?
Oh yeah.
About 3.5 miles.
3.5.
In about 3.5 hours. So it's pretty slow going for us old folks. But we'll see you down the trail. We found the trail again. And the creek is below us. Well, that didn't last long. Looks like we're going back to the creek bed. Alrighty, well, we're actually closing out in the daylight. It is 6:30 and we are so ready for bed. We are grateful to be in one piece today. It was a pretty rough day. Brian broke a second trekking pole today. If you notice in the pictures, he has one wooden stick and one pole from the trekking pole fatality yesterday. And today, the point broke off.
Yeah, this is the first 3 inches, but
And his poles are carbon fiber, and they're a whole lot lighter, but they are more brittle. Mine are aluminum. They're quite a bit heavier, but usually if you get caught between a rock or something, you can bend it back.
well, they're not heavier than my replacement staff, which weighs about 3 pounds.
I found him a great stick, which seems to be keeping him upright most of the time. We did a whopping 9.3 miles, but it was grueling. We were traveling over something called Mission Creek, which was just a small creek, but after a hurricane a few years ago, it washed out. There's a giant riverbed, and there's no way to see where the trail was or how to navigate. So it was a lot of rock scrambling, and it was kind of like choose your own adventure today. You could see hikers all across the boulder field, going different directions. And the app definitely helped us stay close to the trail, but it was pretty challenging.
It's a lot of rocks and sand and gravel, and you didn't know where it was. The other thing that happened is that the force of the water excavated the canyon, and the sidewalls run from maybe 4 or 5 feet to 40 feet just straight up the side that used to be gradual, and now it's just vertical dirt. So you have to be kind of careful, because you can't, once you're in this canyon, you can't get out. So you kind of have to look pretty far ahead, figure out. We had a couple times when we got up the side and we walked for a ways.
We actually found the trail a couple times, and then it would disappear.
And it would disappear where it had previously crossed Mission Creek, and it was literally gone. So it was kind of challenging.
It was very challenging. Fortunately, it was a beautiful day. It was a hot day, but we were by the creek most of the day, so the breeze really was pretty comfortable. And the views, of course, were beautiful, as they are every day. But we earned those views today. We'll be glad to be back on the actual designated trail and not have to search for a way forward. So anyway, Hiker Midnight here.
It's just as a matter of record. We watched, 20 and 30-year-olds just rifle up through this stuff.
That's true.
It was pretty tough for old people.
Yeah.
So,
But we are old and on the way.
And on the way. On the way to Canada.
And thanks for coming along with us.
On the way to Big Bear.
Yes, Big Bear Lake is our next stop. 2 more days, about 15 miles each.
Yeah.
And a night in a hotel.
Yep. Have a great night.
Good night.
Thanks for coming along.
Good night.